excited women, that's all I'm saying. Why fish the chips? I come from Ireland and fish and chips is a traditional food. It's basically, there's a Catholic upbringing, so it was traditionally you would eat fish and chips on a Friday, but the way it is in our country, you'd actually eat it 2 or 3 times a week. It was an Italian immigrant in 1880 that introduced fish and chips to Ireland. He was actually going to America and mistakenly went to my city, Cork. And he went to Dublin with a food cart and done fish and chips from that, and basically that's how fish and chips came to Ireland. The English said that they did it first in 1860, so it's hard to prove these things when there's all these people are dead, but there was, at the time in 1930, there was 35,000 fish and chip shops. Now there's about 10,000, and in the UK there's about 1,200 McDonald's, so it gives you an idea of the way fish and chips has grown. What I have is, like, a lot of people here are familiar with the fish and chips, so I'm going to give you a few ideas of how I got into it. Like, a lot of people, they ask me, why are you involved in fish and chips? Because I'm known as a developer, I'm known as real estate, and the reason is when I grew up, I could see 2 fish and chip shops that I went to where it's like production line. People just go in and get it. Like in Poland, you tend to sit down and eat your food, but in Ireland it's takeaway. So you just go in, get it, bring it home, or eat it on the street. So a lot of people think that fish and chips is not healthy for you. They believe that it's full of fat and everything. And I'm going to show you something here now. Less fat and fewer calories. I know it's going to be hard for you to see, but based on 100 grams of fish and chips, the amount of fat is 9.42 grams. A pizza is 11, a burger and chips is 12, and a doner kebab is 16. Your calories, everybody would think fish and chips would be a lot higher. Fish and chips, 595, pizza 871, burger and fries 888, and a kebab 942. So, and I can actually prove it since we've opened a month ago, and I'm eating every day because I'm just trying to make sure that we're dishing out the right food. And I thought I'd put on weight because normally you'd eat that type of food once a week, maybe twice. And I actually lost weight. So I think the statistics there are correct. In Ireland, I used to recycle everything, plastic, cardboard, because the refuse is really more advanced in Poland. Where I'm living now, I don't have that option. Some places do, but I just have one bin, so you could chuck everything into it. But I don't do that. I segregate. I've got a plastic bin, and I've got for paper, and I go to the recycling place and put all the stuff in. And I wanted to apply that to my business. So on my van, we've got We Care, and I can get forks and knives very cheap, plastic, but I don't want that. I use timber forks and knives, and then we use stirrers that are timber. We don't use plastic cups. We use cardboard cups. We use glass bottles, not plastic, because plastic doesn't disappear, just unless you use hemp, but that's not familiar in Poland yet, but hemp will be a product that we're going to try and use because it's biodegradable, and that's the actual plan. For our wrapping, we put our fish and our chips into these, which is English newspaper print, so yeah, it's like you can practice your English when you're eating, because I know you're a repeat customer. And we also wrap the food in typical paper just like that. So, mightn't think much about that, but just remember when you go to a lot of places, you get a plastic plate, and all this plastic is put into the bin, and it's gone into the, it's not disappearing, so it makes a difference. Our menus, what do we serve? I can give you all the menu later. Obviously fish and chips, we serve cod and haddock. Our fish is from the Atlantic, so it's not from the Baltic. And if you've been there, like all the reports that we're getting, it's actually very fresh and it's very tasty. We do mushy peas, which is traditional for Ireland and England, and we do gravy. And typically in Ireland and England, if you got chips, you put the mushy peas or the gravy over your chips. We do fish cakes, which is fish, potato, and fresh herbs. We have fish nuggets, which is 100% fish, and we have chicken nuggets. And I just had that discussion with Ahmed, and a lot of people, when you hear chicken nuggets, you think of our competition, and you think of these kind of rubber, pink, gooey gum. Ours is 100% chicken. We marinate it, and the only way to realise how good it is to come and taste it. We have jimnaki on a stick, which is basically a potato that's a twister, and we've 12 different seasons for that, so that's another thing that we offer. Our staff, we've actually got 6 people working for us, 6 different countries. I'm Irish, obviously. The head chef, is Scottish, but lived in the UK for most of his life. He's actually trained by the Fish Federation, so we're members of the Fish Federation Society. We've got a Brazilian, we've got a Ukrainian, we've got an English guy, and we've got Polish people working for us. For the week here, we use nano oil in the engine. This reduces the fuel consumption of the car and reduces emissions. The oil that we use for frying, we recycle it, and we also filter it daily so that we ensure the best quality of oil that we give. And basically, I'm just conscious of the time. Traditionally, fish and chips is not delivered. It was never a delivered kind of product, because if you get chips that are delivered, they're not nice when they're cold. And we're going to break that model. We've got boxes that are made for delivery, they're centipede approved, and also we've got a terminal box. So we're subscribed to pishna.pl. We'll be ready in about 2 weeks. We're also delivering to companies. And we're going to do, first of all, a 3-kilometre radius, but once we get it going, then we'll expand. So a lot of people here have actually tasted it and are coming back, so if you haven't, we kindly invite you to